You can't be friends with Ishmael. Ishmael is not good. Stop keeping Ishmael. Don't give him a special room. You say, okay, I only bring him out sometimes. I love it. Send Ishmael away. Don't keep him. Ishmael's plan is to kill you. And he will kill you. He's not neutral. He's not nice. Your spirit man is nice. Ishmael is not nice. You have to push him out. Stop excusing your worldliness. Colossians 3. God's wrath because of this comes on the disobedient. He said, and you once walked in these things when you were living in them. So there was a time you were like this. In other words, it's past tense. You can't continue. But now you must also put away all the following. In addition to those things, which should not even be mentioned, those ones that were listed above, are the heavier bad things. Now, this is the second level list of bad things. Anger, wrath, malice, slander, and filthy language from your mouth. All those are internal. Verse 9 says, do not lie to one another, since you have put off the old man with his practices. You notice that the original list of bad things are all external. They manifest externally. Sexual immorality is external, right? It involves other people. Impurity, lust, evil desire, and greed. All of them manifest. You can't have evil desire. At some point, out of the heart, it will come. It will manifest in the flesh. It will do something. And he says God's wrath comes on the disobedient because of this. These are things that you're not permitted. It attracts wrath. That's why the way they somehow got greed. Others may be bashed, but they allow greed in there. Greed. Satan was like, I can't take all of you. Let me just get one. Let me use greed and catch them. And that's why I talk against it often, more than the rest. Because it's like the one major criminal that is allowed through. When he comes to the church, they let it in. They say, ooh, get away immorality, ooh. Or they pretend to bet, at least. But greed, welcome. Where's that main seat? They give it a big chair. The preacher comes in, introduces him, and spends hours discussing him. He passed through. Greed came through. So that one attracts wrath. But these ones, he said you should also put this away. These are actions that are less obvious. Anger, wrath, malice, slander, filthy language. They are less obvious. These are the ones that are not blatantly involving of others. You can commit these yourself. And many people that are children of God can do this and say there's nothing really wrong and excuse it. A preacher can have malice. He can be slandering. A whole church can do all these things and say there's nothing wrong with it. Someone has anger issues and says, well, I have anger issues, and lives with it. Say, well, that's my weakness. Even though, of course, truth, many people have moved into the higher level list and said it's their weakness. But you're not supposed to. Filthy language, you're not supposed to. Filthy language, you shouldn't say any bad thing. These things stop you from being a partaker in the heavenly Jerusalem. They hinder you. They resist your access. You get to the gate, they block you. This is why you're trying to sense the Holy Spirit and it resists you. You're trying to sense the presence of God. These are why many congregations of God's people cannot have the presence of God abide and rest on them, because these things are actively present. Malice. People are gossiping about people, speaking evil. Instead of going to your brother or sister to tell them what's the issue, you're telling others. Instead of going to a leader and telling them so they address it, you're hiding. You're carrying the slander in secret. You're carrying malice, saying slanderous things, things that are not true, unkind things behind someone. Every time people do that, they push away the presence. There's a price to pay, and that price includes not carrying anger around with people. Do you have relatives that they tell you, they say it openly in the car, at home, everywhere, they are angry with people? They talk about beefs, active beefs and offenses existing. It's official. It's recognized. It's signed and approved. It's there as a norm. It's been there for years. People that will stand and open hymn books and sing and act all religious. Malice, anger against people, slander, speaking evil. Do they speak evil of people? Church members, fellow church members. Active, constant. It goes on. And even if someone has a little something, your thought, carry it. very briefly. Get rid of it quickly. If there's 1 or 2 disobedient people, it can't affect the whole house now. The good outweighs the bad. If it's 1 or 2 or 3, or it lasted for 2 days, the Spirit of God will override all of that. But if it was 50%, there will be a real problem. If you want to lose everything, just practice any of this. You don't need to commit fornication. Just do slander, do malice, carry grudges, do any of that. Carry anger, I will not talk to him. Carry that and watch the Spirit of God shift away. Because he can't endure these things. The child of promise can't endure this. And it means you've brought back the son of the bondwoman to rule the house. It's the son of the bondwoman that manifests this. This is the behavior of the son of the bondwoman. The son of promise. The Messiah Jesus does not do this. His nature is different.